Right, today I'm just going to have a little review of my thoughts of the Moto G5. This is an Android version 7 Nugget operating system. No, this is vanilla version, so no crapware or anything like that. And with a standard 5-inch display running full 1080p, so that's 1920 over 1080. Pixel count is 441. And we have a Snapdragon 430 with a 1.4 GHz octa-core CPU. We have the Adreno 505 running up to 450 MHz. This is the 2 GB version. You can get a 3 GB version as well. 16 GB built in, but upgradable up to 128 using the SD card slot. It only weighs 144.5 grams, so it's not too heavy, not too light, just right, I reckon. We have an all-day battery, 2800 milliamp, and included is a 10-watt rapid charger, which supposedly gives you hours of battery life in minutes, to quote Motorola. We do have the water repellent nano coating as well, but obviously it's not waterproof, just splash proof if you will. This is a 4G LTE phone, so that's UMTS, HSPA, and it's 4G LTE Cat 4, and you've got your standard GSM Edge, and this is a nano SIM slot. Brief look around the device. As you can see, it's just turned on, or display should I say. So looking at the front, sorry about the lighting, it's a really cloudy day and I've got really crap lighting at the minute. But anyway, as you can see, pretty much the whole display taken up there. On this side we have our volume rocker and our power button. Now I do believe these are metal, but I'm not too sure. At the top, our headphone jack, nothing else there. On this side, nothing, nice and flush. On the bottom, we have our micro USB and the little lip to take the back off. As I mentioned, the back, now the panel itself, the battery panel is cover should I say, is actually the metal part, and then obviously at the brand the M there, this whole other part, everything else is plastic apart from that. Our camera, 13 megapixel, there you go. The flash is just a single flash, there's no multicolored flash or anything. We have a microphone just there, nothing there. As you get to the front, where's the thing as well. As you get to the front, we have a 5 megapixel camera there, all the sensors, and there's a loudspeaker as well as your ear speaker and the Moto branding at the bottom. Sorry about the lighting. You can just make out the fingerprint sensor, and the microphone. Now I'll go ahead and unlock this. Excuse me. As you can see, the display, it's decent size. You can hold it in one hand, no problem there. Now, as I said, this is Android version 7. Now, it's obviously the vanilla version, so there's no crapware whatsoever. Only a couple of things added by Motorola, but everything else, as you can see, I've added. We do still have the Moto gesture things. I'm not going to demonstrate them, but if you're familiar with Motorola, you'll know what I'm on about. One button nav. Now this is so you can navigate using just the touch sensor. It's okay. I mean, it does get a bit used to, but it does get rid of these shortcuts, and obviously add a bit more screen to that, which is good. Does take a bit getting used to, but I have used it before and it's okay, but I do prefer the on-screen buttons. Swipe to shrink screen. Again, you know, it's just so you can have it, you know, like one-handed, if you will. Pick up, start ringing. Most of these are, you know, pretty much you get the gist of. I don't really use them. Display. Again, as you can see here, it'll just fade in, fade out. So when you like move it or pick it up, it will show you any information that's come out, any notifications, and you can just touch it and to see if obviously you've not got the sensitivity on, so you can't see anything. It's not sensitivity, but like privacy, if you will. Fingerprint sensor works very, very well the majority of times. Sometimes, you know, you don't have to push it more than once, but normally works no problem. I've had no issues to date with performance. Everything seems to work well. Camera, you got a good few options on here. It does record in full 1080p, but it's only 30 frames, not 60, unfortunately. But we do have like pretty good spec camera, considering it's a 30 megapixels as mentioned. We have phase detection and autofocus, or as they call it, phase detect autofocus, or PDAF. And we have the focal length of 2.0 aperture, as mentioned, LED flash, 8 digital zoom, 8 times should I say, and 4 times digital zoom for video. And we have the drag to autofocus, which is essentially move it around the screen. So that's to essentially, so just obviously wherever you drag it will focus in, so that's quite good. And then if you touch and hold, you can initiate brightness level, which again is good. We do have burst mode for the camera. Tap anywhere to capture if you've activated that option. Auto HDR or manual or off. You have panorama, video stabilization. With the video stabilization, which is just there, it's okay, but I pretty much found myself just leaving it off. But obviously if you want to keep it on, you know, it's up to you. I have done a few shots which I'll include up in this video. I've just outside and a bit of video. Picture wise, it seems okay. Sometimes it was hard for me to, because every time you like in the cameras try to you know, sort out the lighting as you took the picture. So if you moved up from say the trees to the sky, it'd go a bit dark or whatever. For me that was a bit annoying, because you know I just couldn't. I was trying to get a nice shot, and you know the white balance was going all over the place. But obviously, when you do get that perfect shot, it's really nice. The images look nice and crisp. Not too much noise or anything like that, from what I gather. It does do slow motion video, but it's only I think it's 520 frames. But you know, that's just like a little play around thing. I wouldn't use that altogether, because you know the quality is not that good on it. Front camera 5 megapixel. We have a wide angled lens on it, and it's 2.2 aperture. We have a display flash, which essentially just makes the whole screen white as you take the picture. We do have the professional mode on both, which is just essentially that, so you can adjust all different types, ISO, white balance, your focus, stuff like that. But the majority of the people would just obviously have that on standard auto. We do have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, usual stuff there. Again, performance-wise, nothing major to report at this time. It's the weight is really nice, as I mentioned. The weight, you know, it's nice to hold. I mean, you do have to have a case on it though, if need be, because I've noticed I've put it on the side of the chair, whatever, and it just slid off, and it did land face down. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is Gorilla Glass version 3. Now, the big brother to this is definitely Gorilla Glass 3. I'm positive this is Gorilla Glass 3. Obviously, a lot more people probably go for the G5 Plus, because this doesn't have an NFC, whereas the Plus does. But if you're not really bothered about, I don't know, Android Pay or anything like that, or pairing up to a Bluetooth speaker just by touching it, then, you know, it's not a big loss. Battery is good, as mentioned. We've got that, well, I wouldn't call it a large battery, but it's a decent type battery. 2800 milliamp. I mean, it's lasted me more than a day. Obviously on heavy use it does drain quite a lot, but as you can see, we have a little battery indicator around there. But I mean, I don't have the brightness up full. I have it really, really low. I could do with all my devices, but the vanilla version of Android is good. The only annoyance I have is there's no gallery. The only thing you can have is obviously the Google Photos. And I don't really like that. I mean, you can turn it off so it doesn't back up your photos and stuff, but I prefer to have like a standard gallery. But again, it's only a little quirk, you know what I mean? It's not a major issue. It's just that I do prefer a default gallery rather than be forced to use Google's. I mean, you can download, you know, third-party galleries, but yeah, I mean, like I said, here it's all plastic. The only really metal part is the back plate there, and I'm sure, I'm not 100% positive, but I'm sure they're metal as well. It's quite nice when you hold it, because obviously when it's cold, it feels cold, so it feels really, really nice. It is slippy though. Now, it only comes in 2 colours. This one is the Lunar Grey, and the other one is gold, I believe. Yeah, fine gold. So, you know, I mean, I do like this one. I prefer this colour to the gold. There's reminiscence of maybe the LG G5 colour in there. It's really nice. On the G5 Plus, this part is protruding slightly. Obviously this one isn't, so it's nice and flush on the wherever you put it, on the side or whatever. All in all though, it's quite a decent phone. As I said, no issues with the OS or anything like that. I've not got really any major concerns with it whatsoever. I definitely recommend this. But I've got a funny feeling that a lot more people are going to go with the G5 Plus rather than the G5. Now, there's not much difference, only being that the G5 Plus is 5.2 inches, and as mentioned, it's got NFC. But interestingly enough, they're not calling this the turbocharge on the G5 Plus. They call it as the turbo charge. On this, it's called rapid charge. So I don't understand that. But 4G speeds. This one I'm using Vodafone, so I've got no issues with that whatsoever. Wi-Fi speeds fine, no problem there. Fingerprint sensor again, it's good, very quick. We do have a gyroscope, ambient light, proximity sensor. So I think this will be able to do 360 pictures, but I'm not too sure. But all in all, yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's version 4.2 for Bluetooth as well, so newer version, which is good. As mentioned, we have that nano coating for water repellent, but again, not waterproof. So if you're out in the rain or whatever, that should be fine. As you can tell, the screen does get full of fingerprints, so a screen protector would be advised. But like I said, this did fall and land straight down, and it actually landed on my glass table, or the bottom of the glass table, and there was no issues with it whatsoever, no scratch or anything like that, and it was from a decent height. But obviously screen protector is advised, as probably would be a case, because that was really, really smooth and slippery. So, but yeah guys, that'll do for now. Any questions, just put them in the box below. If I've missed anything, I apologise. This is actually quite a rushed review. I did plan to do a bit more, but I've actually got to go out soon, so very rushed. But yeah, if I've skipped anything, I apologise. But yeah, that's the Moto G5. Cheers.